You're watching Southern Nevada's #1 choice for news. This is News 3 Nightside.
Putting gas in your car is so routine you probably don't consider it dangerous. But the family of a little girl burned in a fire at the pump says there may be hidden dangers the public isn't being warned about. News 3 investigator Glenn Meek has more now on the rash of gas station fires that prompted these allegations. Glenn?
Well, fires caused by static electricity have badly burned, even killed people. But have oil companies and car makers kept information about the danger away from consumers? Hear what the family of a local fire victim has to say.
Alexis, just try, honey. I know it's hard.
Alexis Canfora lays swaddled in bandages in this 1999 home video. She was badly burned in a flash fire at this Henderson gas station, a fire her family believes was caused by static electricity.
She's gone through more pain than most adults do in their entire life, all at one time. And it's changed her. And she worries that she's never going to get married and never going to have kids.
Because she thinks a man won't be attracted to her?
She doesn't see how they could be because she can't look at herself either.
I'm angry, but that it happened to me and that I have to live with this all my life. But I'm lucky also and grateful that I'm still alive.
It breaks my heart and then it makes me angry.
Mrs. Canfora is angry because she thinks this fire could have been prevented and once it started could have been contained. According to a lawsuit filed by the Canfora family, when the fire erupted at the fuel port of the car, Alexis pulled out the nozzle, spraying gasoline all over, which then ignited. An expert the Canforas hired says that's a typical reaction.
The first thing that happens when that erupts in their hands is that they panic and they think the car is going to blow up and obliterate that part of the earth. And that is not the situation. Pulling it out is the danger.
The Canfora family says the oil company, ExxonMobil, knew that removing the nozzle during a fire would make it worse, but didn't post warning signs. Consider this page from a safety guide published for mobile service station workers in 1993. It says, if a fire should occur at the fill point while a vehicle is being refueled, do not remove the dispenser nozzle from the fill point of the car until the fire has been extinguished. The Canforas say this shows ExxonMobil gave its own employees critical safety information that it did not share with the public, even though the public generally pumps its own gas.
It just doesn't make sense to me. It's wrong. It's wrong. And whoever made the decision not to disclose it should be in jail.
In addition to suing ExxonMobil, the Canforas are also suing General Motors, maker of their Camaro that caught fire. The Canforas expert suspects a design flaw in the fuel system may have allowed a static spark to ignite gas vapors in the tank.
I think that they are a design problem that do not meet the standards for making sure that the fire cannot exist or cannot be ignited, yes.
If it happens in a Chevrolet and somebody calls them, their response is, this has never happened before, when they know it has. They know it's happened before.
And I was just standing there watching, all of a sudden flames shot out.
It happened to Kathy Post in a General Motors truck, so she called GM.
Yeah, I asked them if it ever happened before.
And what did they say?
No.
My mother was in the car. I was afraid that it was going to explode. I reached back through the fire. I grabbed the hose of the pump. I pulled it out of the car.
Kimberly McGregor's reaction was the same as Alexis Canfora's when her GM Chevy Cavalier caught fire at the pump. And how did the GM representative treat her when she called?
Very rude. She had told me that this had never happened before. I told her I didn't give a shit. This is happening to me.
Since 1999, there have been at least 150 gas station fires attributed to static electricity. Only a portion of them happened with GM cars, and many factors may be involved, like weather, the kind of clothing the drivers were wearing, and what kind of gasoline they were pumping. But some of the people it's happened to are upset at what they perceive as a cavalier attitude by the world's biggest car maker and the world's largest oil company.
And I don't care what gas companies, it's happening. All I care about is fixing it to where little girls don't get burned, people don't die, and I don't have to sit and worry about my mother frying in a GM Chevy Cavalier.
Now, I contacted both ExxonMobil and General Motors for comment on this story. The ExxonMobil spokesperson says the company does not comment on pending lawsuits. General Motors had this response. They said the 1994 Camaro has a safe design. GM expects to demonstrate at trial that the vehicle was free from defect and did not contribute in any way to Alexis Kenfora's unfortunate injuries.